Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation, much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. And enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this quick little lesson dealing with something that came up over the weekend at camp, dealing with, the Most High loves his people, like that song we mentioned over the weekend at camp, Somebody Loves You, somebody loves you, baby, but nevertheless, our people have it inside of their heart and their spirit that we've been forsaken of the Most High, because look at us in our conditions, man. All right. But nevertheless, let me grab a precept real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. I think it is. Let me see. Slack it. Let me see. I mean, it says it here in verse 61, but I think there's a shorter one. But nevertheless, I'll read it from there. We could just, there's a couple of places in here, but nevertheless, these curses were going to fall upon us until basically we was destroyed. All right. Give me 1 second, Salakia. Nevertheless, let me just jump down and read it from here. It says Deuteronomy 28 and this is starting at verse 45, Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee until thou beest destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to keep all his commandments and statutes which he commanded thee. All right. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. That was actually the precept I was looking for. But nevertheless, these curses was going to befall us, and it was going to follow us no matter where we went until we was destroyed, man. And when you look at the conditions of our people, it's just like, it's pretty much like you get your car stuck in the mud or whatnot. The more and more you try to hit the throttle to try to get your car out, the further you're digging yourself down into it, It's the same way with these here curses, the more and more the Jake tries to get up out of these curses or whatnot, it's more and more obstacles in your way, man. Until we're destroyed. It fucks with your mind and everything like that when you try to do so-called things right, some of these so-called black women say, I taught my son right, how to grow up, pull his pants up, talk with this and talk with that, and not be a gangster or a drug dealer, no tattoos, and they still shot him down, But nevertheless, you got to understand that these curses are going to fall upon us until we be destroyed, man. All right, so when you look around, you'll measure how our nation is, and you're like, damn, we through or whatnot, But nevertheless, and you would think that we were forsaken of the Most High. Let me grab that real quick. This is Jeremiah 51. Verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. All right, so this is the sentiment that our people have, that we was just forsaken, man. We were just left out there to dry. Like, all these other nations, they got their gods, they got their power, they got their blessings, but what about us? We out here left to dry, man. But when you go back to Deuteronomy 28, starting in verse 15 on down, really starting at the top, this is the covenant that we made with the Most High. But when you get to 15 on down, this is what happened if we breached our contract. All right, so now we breached the contract. Now all these curses are falling upon us, right? Till what? Till we be destroyed, like we read in Deuteronomy 28. All right, but let me read this again. Jeremiah 51 and verse 5. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power. All right, Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, you so-called Latinos and Native Americans. And Judah is talking about you so-called Negroes, you West Indies, and you so-called Haitians. So it says, Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Because even though, we broke the covenant, the Most High said these curses was going to befall us until we be destroyed, we wasn't ultimately forsaken, Just like a parent with his child, you bought your kid all these gifts and everything, all these toys and video games, but now the kid starts acting up and grades start dropping in school, then all of a sudden you take all these things away from him, But then the parent, the kid, could tell his friends, like, I hadn't been My parents didn't throw away my systems and so on and so forth. They just basically put me on punishment to where I can't use it. They just have it all put up right now, you know. But I'm eventually going to get it all back, you know. And this is the state that we're in right now. People see us at the lowest of the low, and people just think we just some niggas or whatever, whatnot. Like, obviously, these people don't have a God, man. Because look at them, you know. But nevertheless, let me read it again. Jeremiah 51:5. It says, "For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel." So, you know, to these other nations that's sitting there laughing and scoffing at us, hey, man, the Most High about to come back and avenge us, you know. But as far as our people who think that the Most High just forgot about us and everything like that and just want to sit there and be like, well, you know, like Lil Boosie, prime example, want to cuss out the Most High and everything like this because his life is all fucked up. But what is this going on in the back of his mind? We've been forsaken. If we had a God that loved us, we wouldn't be in these scenarios or whatever, whatnot, you know. But nevertheless, you know, this is Micah chapter 7, verse 9. It says, "I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him." All right. So what? We have to bear this here indignation, this here punishment, because while we broke the law, statutes, commandments. All right. It says, "I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light and I shall behold his righteousness," you know, because ultimately we have to serve out our punishment, you know, and our people are still stuck in those ways of thinking that, hey, man, we were just forsaken because it's been in our eyes so long. All right. So this is Malachi chapter 1. I'm going to start at the top, you know, because especially looking at Esau, the so-called white man, comparably to how he's living versus how we're living, you know, like, damn, he must be either the son of God or he has a God and our God don't love us based off of the scenario that he's in versus the scenario we're in. But like Job 9:24 said that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. You know, we're not supposed to be envious of the wicked either. You know, so this is Malachi 1:1. "The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I've loved you, saith Yahweh, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us?" You know, and this is the sentiment that our people say, man. We've been forsaken. We don't got no power. Our power don't love us, you know, so on and so forth. You got Lil Boosie talking about, you know, F the Most High and so on and so forth, you know, because why? Look, really, he's in a good condition, you know what I'm saying? He's living way more, you know, richly than a lot more people, you know, a lot of our nation, but because he feel like he's having some death in his family and so on and so forth, you know, but nevertheless, you know, I mean, it really serves him right, because he did have that video talking about he gonna eat some pork. What kind of God would not have him eat pork? But because you don't understand your parents, man. It's like, you know, or the Most High is pretty much like our parent, but nevertheless, you a kid and then you got your parents. So now you over here sneaking out at night and getting drunk and crashing the cars, and you can't understand why your parents will ground you, take away all your things. You're just a reprobate child, you know? This is true discipline. All right, going back to Malachi 1:2, it says, "I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein that hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh, yet I've loved Jacob, and I've hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons in the wilderness," you know? Because ultimately, you know, yeah, we were cast out of our land, and everything around us that we touched turned to damn near dirt, you know? Basically, everything was destroyed around us, you know? But ultimately, we're about to have an everlasting kingdom, man. The whole world's about to build up our kingdom. But as far as Esau, you know, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. You know, when he's about to fill his belly, he's going to spew it all out. You know, he's going to pay back that restitution, because why? The Most High wrote this about him. You know, he was written in as being the bad guy, but at the end, the good guy was going to prevail, and we was going to wind up taking possession of the whole earth forever. You know, which Esau only has a temporary rulership. We have an everlasting rulership, all right? And Esau being a so-called white man. So a lot of our people look at the conditions of our people versus the so-called white man and say, damn, they, you know, something up with them. They live in life, you know? So it says, again, it says, "I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet you say, where hast thou loved us?" You know, our people saying that don't nobody love us, God don't love us. But guess what? The Most High, like the song say, somebody loves you, you know? "Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh, yet I've loved Jacob and hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." So going into that, you know, the Most High clearly in the scripture, it clearly says that he hated Esau, the so-called white man that everybody's glorifying. You know, the Most High, those are the people of his indignation forever, man. All right. So nevertheless, let me just read verse 4. "Whereas Edom say, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people of whom Yahweh have indignation forever." You know, and this indignation going into a righteous hatred, man. The Most High hate these people forever, man. All right, they was created to be the wicked, man. These people are walking abominations, man. All right, but yet we envy them because we think that, oh, damn, they got yachts, they got mansions, they got Rolls Royces and Benzes, and they got money, and they got this and that, and they can just live life, man. But nevertheless, hey, man, these people, they got a short rulership, man, and their ultimate heritage is what? Thermonuclear missiles, 1,000 years of slavery, thermonuclear missiles, and then they're going to be rounded up and burnt up forever, man. They're going to be cut off forever, man. All right. But nevertheless, Israel, we're going to be put back into a perfect condition. We're going to live forever. The law, statutes, commandments going to be inside of us. We're never going to go off, man. We're going to have the how do you say, the fruits of the whole world, first fruits of the whole world, man. All right. So let me go from there to the book of Romans, because this just reiterates the same thing. You know, some people say, oh, that was the Old Testament God, right? Well, the Most High don't change, man. It's the same from before, even into the same day. But let's just get to the point. Uh, Let me just start at verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah had also had conceived by one, even our father Isaac, for the, Jacob and Esau's father is Isaac, right? It says, for the children not yet being born, all right? So it wasn't that they did any actions between Jacob and Esau, while the Most High loved Jacob and hated Esau. This is just how it was going to roll out, It says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the promise of the Most High according to the election might stand, not of works, but by him that calleth. So the Most High set this up, all right? As it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, which we just read in the book of Malachi, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say? Is there unrighteousness in the Most High? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. All right, so going into that, the Most High just had compassion on us, man. And that was his will and his choice, man. All right, you should literally be thankful for that, because it was like, he could have chose any nation. He could have chose the Hamites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, all right? But he chose you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Before you went into captivity, before you did any of these things, he chose you and said that those was going to be my people, man, all right? Let me go to, let me grab that real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 7, start at verse 6. It says, for thou art a holy people, all right? He separated us. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee. All right, he chose us to be a special people unto himself. All right, so he chose us above all these other nations. All right. Well, let me just keep reading. It says, Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Most High said we was the chosen people. They have that term, the chosen ones, the chosen people. We were the chosen people, all right, to be above all these other nations that's on the face of the earth, man. The Most High chose us to do that. It wasn't because we jumped higher than them, we could rap better than them, dance better than them. No, the Most High chose us, and then he put all these attributes inside of us, man. The Most High just made you the shit, basically because he wanted to, man. All right, that's how much love he had for you. Before you was going to even do any of these things, to be like, oh, the Most High love us because I can dunk the ball better than him, or I can dance better. No, man. The Most High chose you before all of these things, really before the foundations of the earth, man. And then he created your set path to how you was going to live, man. Verse 7, Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people, man. Hey, he chose the underdog, man, really. Because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of the bondmen from the Pharaoh king of Egypt, man. All right, so look, man, it wasn't because we was more in number, we was deep or whatever, man. Any of these things you can claim, oh, we got to be the special people because we got melanin in our skin. Well, everybody had melanin in their skin, except for Esau. He wasted away his seed. That was his name, all right? So he was the only one without melanin. So what do you mean because we got melanin? The Africans got melanin. They damn near got more melanin than we got. So what you really trying to say, man? Those people really are nothing, man, all right? But nevertheless, the Most High chose us because why? It says, verse 8, but because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers, have Yahweh brought you out with the mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of the bondmen, out of the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. All right, because ultimately it was just the way that the Most High wrote the script that he was going to choose this here nation. All right, and he was going to put his blessings upon them, man. All right, that's not really nothing to be going around bragging about. Oh, we jumped higher than you. No, man, it's the Most High just chose this. How we just so happen to be, the person that he chose out of all these other nations, man. He literally could have chose any other nation and blessed them, them damn Moabites, man, so-called Chinese, man. He could have blessed them and had these Moabites dunking on all these other nations and out rapping and dancing and all kind of different shit, man. But he chose us, man. All right. Let me just grab two more real quick, because I wound up mentioning this at camp, about all these different things that's going on around the earth. All right, these are all, so-called white man's economy and everything is collapsing and everything like that. All these Edomites are dying off, and the wars and rumors of wars and so on and so forth. All these calamities and perplexities and so on and so forth. All these things are happening because of why? Because of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, the Most High is rendering his recompense on these nations right now for you. All right, so this is Jeremiah chapter 30. I'm going to read verse 16. It says, therefore, all they that devoured thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So it's not just that the Most High say, oh, he loved you over these other nations, and we still just getting fucked up or whatever, whatnot. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you say you love us and whatever, whatnot, but you see how these people treating us or whatever, what we gonna get in return for all of this, man? Or whatever, whatnot. The Most High say, render unto her double, well, I can grab that as well too. But here it says, Jeremiah 30 and 60, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. We render them their recompense. And all thy adversaries, which everybody hate us, every one of them shall go into captivity. Who they going into captivity to? If everybody going to be slaves, they going into captivity up under us. All right. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Let me grab this real quick, and or I can grab it in Obadiah real quick. This is Obadiah 1 and 15. It says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. All right, so, amen. Going into these other nations, they're going to get paid back this here recompense of the things they wound up doing unto us. Let me see if I can find this real quick in Revelation 18 and verse... I'll read Revelation 18, 5 through 8. It says, for her sins, this is talking about Babylon the Great here in America, the chief place, of Edom. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. The cup which she hath filled to her double. All right, so we're going to reward her double for all the things she did. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and no widow, and shall see no sorrow. All right, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh who judgeth her. Why are these things going to come down unto her? Because why? They touch the apple of the Most High's eyes, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The Most High love you so much, he's about to destroy this place from coast to coast and turn it into the lake of fire, man. And then round up the remainder of these damn Edomites and put their ass into the first fruits of slavery for your ass, and then braid their ass back for 1,000 years and make them build up your kingdom. All right, then round these damn Edomites up and then burn them all with fire, man. All right, one more and we're going to close out. This is Psalms 2. All right, Psalms 2 and 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. All right, so a lot of the other nations pretty much got this same blessing or whatever, whatnot, where they ruled for a certain part of time, which they didn't rule the whole earth, but they got to rule, Esau got to rule the whole earth and have all these other nations up under him. But ultimately, we're going to have every single nation up under us, and we're going to have the whole entire earth in our possession, man. And this is going to be an everlasting kingdom. It's going to be forever, man. All right, it's not going to be a time limit on it or whatever, whatnot, man. So how much more love, one more precept, I promise. How much more can the Most High do for you, man? All right, this is Romans 8 and 18. Well, let me start up at 17. And if, verse 16. Verse 15. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. So we're not going to be in this condition that much longer, man. All right, the spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so, that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. And we're suffering right now, man. We still in these conditions, man. We still being laughed at, mocked at, and so on and so forth, man. All right, hey, just like how they say in the scriptures, in the land where we was brought to shame or whatever, whatnot, roughly paraphrasing, the Most High was going to give us a glory for our shame, man. All right, verse 18. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. All right, so ultimately we're gonna let me just keep reading on down. Verse 19, the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. because the creature itself shall be delivered from bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High, man. All right, so look, man, the things that we're going through right now is not even worthy to be compared to what we're about to get, man. All right, you mad that you done lost $5, but the Most High finna recompense you with $500 trillion, just to give us a slight comparison. So stop crying over the little $5. Yeah, it sucks. That was your last $5 or whatever, whatnot. But hey, man, look, man, the Most High gonna take care of you, man. The Most High love you, man. You worried about getting your $5 back, but that's really nothing in comparison. See, you can't even imagine. You ain't never had at one time in your possession $10,000. You ain't never really gonna make in your whole lifetime, more than, let's just say, $2 million. And you crying over this $5 or whatever, whatnot. Yeah, it sucks that you ain't got no more money. That was your last $5, but you about to be recompensed with $500 trillion. So you have to understand that the Most High really do love you, man. All right, and you about to see these blessings take place. They taking place right before your eyes, man. Your enemies are falling right before your eyes, man. All right, and the Lord is about to, recompense you with these heathens for your inheritance and the uttermost part of the earth for your inheritance, man. The law, statutes, commandments is going to be written inside of your hearts, man, so you're never going to go off, man. All right, so nevertheless, I just wanted to bring this here out just to show that the Most High loves his people, man. All right, and he's showing his love right now at this point in time, but it's going to get greater and greater as we go along with this, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation, much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.